on the fact that Manly have also started the year quite poorly despite their great win last week against the Dolphins. So, yeah, I think that, look, a win will be great. It might buy in a couple of weeks, but at the moment it seems like the writing's on the wall for Shane Flanagan, and there are parts in place to get moving around that part.
Talk about, you said, might buy him a couple of weeks, because let's look at the couple of weeks that are ahead of him, and there's really no easy matches ahead for him at all. If we can bring up the viz there, so you can see the play there next week, the Rabbitohs, then of course the Anzac Day clash against the Roosters. Then they have the bye, and off the back of that, of course, Knights and Panthers. It's a tough road ahead, but the bye is an interesting time that a lot of people are talking about for the Dragons.
Yeah, look, if they can somehow pull up 3 wins, it could change things for them, to be completely honest. But that bye period, like you said, that's a real interesting time, because if for some reason they can't, or it keeps trickling down the same path that it's been on, I mean, it gives the Dragons a perfect time, the perfect strategy to maybe exit Shane Flanagan and bring someone else in. Look, it's going to be interesting. I mean, when Shane Flanagan was signed, I thought he was the right person for the job. I love what he has done with this team, but things just don't seem to be going right at the moment, and that bye week's going to be very interesting.
There's an image floating around as well of the Dragons merchandise truck, which has fallen over. It's crashed on Bullard Pass, just outside of Wollongong. Is a bad omen that's floating around.
Yeah, it's a terrible omen. I mean, I do want to let everyone know that the driver of the car that was towing the trailer is okay. So I guess that's good news. That could be a good omen. But yeah, the flip, it hasn't been good. There is a Dragons merchandise truck literally crashed into the side of a road, and cars are being forced to go around it to get down to Wollongong at the moment. So, yeah, bad omen, I think.
Let's talk about, we've got Cowboys and Broncos tonight, but there's a big story that's broken this afternoon regarding Cowboys. Scott Drinkwater is something that we've talked about, his contract. What can you tell us? What's the latest there?
Yeah, we spoke a couple of weeks about Scott Drinkwater potentially going to the Tigers. Now, that was shut down pretty quickly, but this will not go away. For a while, we've heard rumblings that Scott Drinkwater has been, I don't think on the outer is the right word, but they're looking to move Jackson Purdy to fullback, which leaves Scott the odd man out. He came on NRL 360 on Tuesday night, I think it was, and said that he hadn't heard anything from the club, and that was true. He hadn't. Everyone else seemed to have, but Scott hadn't. But now the club has formalised and given him and his agent full permission to look elsewhere. He's got a year left on his contract, so next year he's supposed to be at the Cowboys, but I believe if he can get a deal now, if he can get a deal done, he won't be at the Cowboys next year. And it looks as though the prime target for Scott Drinkwater would be the Dragons. They're desperate for a fullback, desperate to move Clint Gutherson out of that number 1 jersey and get some speed and X factor in there. And Scott Drinkwater's a prime target, and it would not surprise me if, whether it's the coming days or coming weeks, Scott Drinkwater is signed on with the Red V as part of their mission to climb back up the ladder.
Super interesting what's going to happen there with the coach, with the club, with the signings as well. Of course, we've got that reported freeze on signings as well, and contracts. Let's wait and see what happens there. Let's look, though, at the fallout from last night's game. Penrith's Casey McLean is facing a 1-week suspension for his high shot at Max King that broke the prop straw. The Panthers centre was sent to the sin bin for the shot in his side's loss to the Bulldogs. On Thursday night, he's been slapped with a grade 2 careless high tackle charge and faces a week with an early guilty plea. 2 if he fights and loses. Now, Bulldogs utility, Kurt Mann, escaped with a $1,000 fine for his grade 1 careless high tackle charge. What a match and a performance from the Bulldogs we saw last night against the Panthers. I mean, a week before we were talking about the fact that you could pretty much have the grand final now and no one could beat the Panthers, and lo and behold, the team that was under so much pressure came out and really performed. But there is a story on the News Corp websites today about a rude gesture from Ivan Cleary that he made to Bulldogs fans. What's the latest there? What's that story?
Yeah, look, Ivan Cleary, I'm not going to repeat the gesture because I don't think it's appropriate for the show. But yeah, he's made a gesture to a fan who's obviously giving him some stick while in the box last night. And look, it's not the first time Ivan has interacted with the fans like this, so it shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. But yeah, he's made this gesture and it's come under a little bit of criticism. I mean, some people find it hilarious, other people find it highly offensive. But yeah, it's not a great look, is it? I mean, especially someone who's won 4 premierships, does he really have to go?
He's so cool and calm and good under pressure, and it was just a slight crack we could see in that really tough armour of the Panthers coach, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely was. And I mean, like, look, he's not hurting anyone, but just the optics of it. We are a game that does love to look at optics, and the optics don't look good when it comes to Ivan Cleary making a gesture like that at someone. And like I said, he does have form. There was a time that he played for Tigers when he just left the club there, and he did a crying emoji, not crying emoji, but
Emoji, yeah. Real life
did a
emoji.
crying expression to the Tigers fans, and you know he does love it. And look, there's a part of me that loves coaches interacting with that stuff and getting to see a bit of personality, but maybe just thinking twice before doing a gesture like that next time would probably be the smarter move.
Maybe the crying one was very different to the one that we saw last night, that's for sure. We'll watch this space. Stay put there. We'll chat with you after the break because we are actually off to a break here on NRL tonight. But when we come back, Benji Marshall hits out at the NRL over a dangerous precedent and could Gema Shibasaki be heading to the Storm. We'll hear from Melbourne coach Craig Bellamy.